It was 2:07 a.m. on June 14, 2025, when multiple 911 calls shattered the pre-dawn quiet in suburban Champlin, Minnesota. Voices whispered terror. Gunshots! Our senators are under fire. Law enforcement arrived to find Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette lying wounded in their doorway. The couple had been shot multiple times, Hoffman allegedly 9 times, Yvette 8. 40 minutes later, in Brooklyn Park, former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were ambushed in their home. Both were shot. Melissa was pronounced dead. Mark died at the scene. In between, the suspect had vanished into thin air. But the horror lingered. This was no random home invasion. Federal prosecutors described it as a politically motivated campaign, a calculated assault on democracy itself. At the epicenter stood 57-year-old Vance Boelter, described by investigators as the orchestrator of a designed killing spree. He allegedly donned a fake police uniform, complete with badge and gear. He used a police-style SUV equipped with flashing lights and a fake police plate. Prosecutors revealed that Boelter allegedly visited at least 4 Minnesota state legislators' homes in one night. His notebook reportedly listed over 45 political figures, mostly Democrats and abortion rights advocates. Authorities emphasized that although President Trump wasn't specifically listed, targets included high-profile Democrats like Governor Walz and Senator Klobuchar. Champlin, 2:07 a.m. Boelter allegedly knocked, claimed to be an officer, and when John Hoffman said, "You're not a cop," opened fire, striking both Hoffmans. One bullet struck Yvette while she shielded their daughter. The survivors' rapid emergency calls spurred the massive mobilization. Investigators say Boelter moved on. He allegedly stopped at Representative Kristen Bonner's home. No one answered. Then at State Senator Ann Rest's, an officer approached his SUV, thinking it was a backup police vehicle. Boelter drove away when questioned. Police, now alerted, were canvassing local residences when they spotted the police-like SUV at the Hortman home. As they arrived, Boelter allegedly knocked and shot while impersonating an officer. Former Speaker Hortman died in the hallway. Her husband Mark was shot dead moments earlier. Surveillance showed a silicone mask, a disguise to obscure his identity. A massive joint operation began immediately. Over 20 SWAT teams, drones, helicopters, and federal agents joined the search, described as Minnesota's largest manhunt. The FBI offered a $50,000 reward for information on Boelter. Authorities traced the SUV to suspect's barn, and cell phone pings led them to Boelter's location. His wife was pulled over in a separate vehicle, reportedly found with $10,000 in cash, firearms, passports. She was briefly detained as investigators probed her role. After 43 hours, Boelter was located in rural Sibley County, crawling through a field. Armed, he surrendered peacefully. Law enforcement cataloged evidence pointing to a planned, ideologically driven plot. Multiple firearms, including AK-style rifles and a 9mm handgun. Tactical gear, bulletproof vests, masks, fake badges. A manifesto and a detailed target list of nearly 70 individuals. Politicians, abort ion providers, campaign staff. Notebooks with surveillance details, e.g., big house off golf course, routes, and a plan for multiple homes. A text message to family, "Dad went to war last night." Federal prosecutors described the plot as a planned campaign of stalking and violence, designed to inflict fear, injure, and kill members of the Minnesota State Legislature and their families. Boelter was charged with the following: 2 counts of second-degree murder, Hortman Mark; 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder, the Hoffmans. Federal charges: 2 counts of murder with a firearm, stalking, firearms violations, potentially facing the death penalty. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty stated intent to pursue first-degree murder charges pending grand jury review. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz condemned it as targeted political violence and urged new security measures. Senator Amy Klobuchar, family of victims, and national leaders noted the anti-abortion undertones amid a rising tide of threats. The incident sparked urgent discussions about site security, privacy protections for officials, and stronger legal deterrence. The event added to a disturbing surge in political violence in the U.S. From assassination attempts on former President Trump, arson at Governor Shapiro's home, to nationwide extremist targeting. Civil rights experts and lawmakers said this case must spark national dialogue on extremism, mental health, and political rhetoric. Minnesota expanded protocols, security at private residences, masked-off meetings, and distanced interactions. FBI now works more closely with state lawmakers to monitor threats and advise on personal safety. This was more than a massacre. It was a chilling weaponization of design and disguise against Democratic leadership. The alleged shooter stalked prey under the guise of authority, armed with a manifest list, tactical gear, and a fatal determination. It was a grim reckoning. When anger and ideology spiral unchecked, crimes against democracy become real. Still, even amid tragedy, there lies resolve. Minnesota's leaders vow to fortify safety, but also to preserve access and accountability in public service. The world remembers that what was attacked was not only people, but ideas. Vance Boelter remains alleged, innocent until proven guilty. His trial looms, justice will decide. But whatever the verdict, one truth stands. In a democracy, voices must be heard, not extinguished. The following questions spark a lot of debate at the moment and keep the people of Minnesota awake at night. If these homes weren't guarded better, how safe are the rest of us? Should lawmakers receive more personal security following this case? If you could ask one question to investigators in this case, what would it be? And finally, do you believe this was just the act of one man or something bigger beneath the surface? Let me know what you think in the comments.